Good evening, guys, and welcome to another podcast. And after this one, I am definitely going to bed because I am whacked. Anyway, I have got an interesting guest for you tonight. It's Nino. How
Hello,
are
hello
you?
again. I'm fine, thank you very much. How are
Listen, I
you?
want to talk. I want to talk to you tonight about two different things. What I've been seeing. One is about your visit to Graceland,
Yes.
and also about your Comic Con.
Oh, right. The in-store book signing.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about let's talk about your visit to Graceland first. What was that like?
Okay. When I visited Graceland, I was very happy because, as you know, 2020 it was closed down, and I usually would go all the time, every year, or skip a year. But I would make up for it and go. But last year, for the pandemic, it was terrible. Everything was closed. So I was happy to go again. I took advantage of the situation because now with the Delta virus that they keep talking about, I'm just taking the advantage right now that we can travel because who knows if everything gets closed down again. I hope it doesn't, but it was nice. It was fun. I went live in front of the gates of Graceland. I went live outside of Sun Studio. I tried to go live outside of the Levitt Shell, which what used to be the Overton Park Shell, where Elvis did his first live public performance, but
All right, yeah, yeah,
they had something going on and I couldn't do it.
yeah. Because you left me a message saying still going to be outside Graceland tonight,
Yes,
and
yes.
I must have missed you because that was a shame because I would love to be on there.
Well, actually, the first night that I tried to go live outside of the gates of Graceland, I don't know what happened. I guess they have a new kind of security measure. Right? I don't know what happened. When I was out there, the security guard that was working there at the time wouldn't let anybody take pictures outside of the gate. You couldn't stand around the gate, so I had to stand away from the gates and over my shoulder with my cell phone. And but the next night, the following night, I went out there, and I guess it was a different guard, and I was able to do a short little recording.
Yeah, what's it? Because you are definitely like an Elvis fan, and so is everybody else. What was it
Yes.
like to actually kind of be there?
Well, the first time I ever went there, I was nervous and trembling because it was something that I always wanted to, a place I wanted to go all my life. But now I go there, I don't tremble or shake. I'm just very excited, very happy to be there. Like to get all the pictures I can. Steve, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to say this before I forget. I want to say hola to Brazil because I told everybody in Brazil that I'm going
Yeah,
to be on.
carry on, carry on.
So, eu escrevi para que não esqueça. Eu quero dizer hola para Brasil. Hola, Brasil. Desculpe meu sotaque. Sei que falo como Papa Francisco. Eu continuo praticando.
Thank you. Brilliant. I love it. I love the language, and
Thank you very much.
you're always welcome to tell your fans
Well,
that you're
thank you
on.
very much. And if I can take the advantage right now to also say hello to Spain. Hola a todos los que están mirando en los países de hablar español. Muchas gracias por mirar. Whew, very
Anybody
tongue tied.
else?
No, just everybody else who's watching or listening right now. And to answer your second question, I did the in-store book signing at Happy Day Comics in Hammond, Indiana. And it was me, my son, and the artist for the IDW Comics Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mr. Frank Fosco. I was representing Space Coast Comics from Melbourne, Florida for publisher Jake Estrada. I talked about the little movie that I'm going to be in, Zoomed, which is now getting all these executive producers and producers who are funding the project. And what the publisher told me was that they just got they secured, I don't know if they secured it, but they got a theater that's going to show it when it's ready to be shown.
All
Uh,
right, yeah, yeah.
and I got a scene in it. My son has a little scene in it. So I don't know too much about Zoomed. We just did our little scenes, and that's about all I know for right
So what's it about then? Can you tell us?
now. From what the publisher told me, because he's also an actor and he's the director, he said that it has something to do with, you know how they have now the Zoom conferences and everything.
Yeah.
I guess someone's going around like a serial killer killing everybody online on Zoom. I'm not sure. I didn't get all the information. I only got the, oh, hi, Haley Jones. Hi, how are you? All he told me was read these lines and send it to me because I don't live in Florida. So what I do is I record the scenes on my cell phone, and then he'll go ahead and edit it later. And the final production is it's shown at the theater, and then it moves on. It moves on to Blu-ray, DVD, wherever they put it
Well done. Well done. Let's get back to the Elvis part first.
on. Okay.
See, I would love to go there. Trouble is with me, I just can't afford it at the moment. But I just love to kind of like go around the house and have a look and everything. And I know that you've been there a few times. Is it always different when you go back the second time or the third time?
Yes, it's always different from the first time that I ever went there. Everything has been changed or relocated. Now they have the complex across the street where they moved all of the jumpsuits that were inside, all the gold records, all the awards, all those things. They moved them across the street to the new complex. So the house looks like it did, sort of. I wouldn't say exactly, but it looks sort of like it did before they turned it into a museum. Uh, the only thing is, if you go to Graceland, make sure that you go in the springtime or just at the beginning of summer because Memphis gets extremely hot and humid. Even if there's shade outside, it's still hot in the shade.
And if you do go to Graceland,
Yes.
and is it a waiting list? Do you kind of like queue up, or do you just go in?
No, you just go up to the window and buy your tickets and just wait in line for the next. They take you on a shuttle bus. So the shuttle bus goes across the street and up to the house, and they go by tours. And so you just buy your ticket, depending on what ticket you buy, because there's a VIP ticket where you can go alone and have a private viewing of the mansion, or and other things, or you can just buy your general admission and go in with the rest of the group.
Do you know what the prices are?
Yes, the prices range from $75 to I guess 150 and more.
Gosh.
But it depends on what you want to see because if you want the VIP tour, which is just you alone in the house, and I forgot what other exclusive benefits, that's the most expensive entrance fee.
Gosh.
The lowest price one is the one we bought for $75. You can see the suits and the gold records and his cars, and you can see the mansion and the planes. So that's good enough for me.
Yeah, yeah. And when you go through the gate, I suppose you go through the gates and everything. Then when you get into the house and everything, what's it like to actually kind of like step where Elvis is stepped?
Well, that's the thing. You know, you get in there, uh, and first of all, you when you get inside, you look around quickly everywhere because it is a house. You know, you don't realize. Well, you do realize, but you forget that this was a house. This was his home. So you walk in the same place he used to walk because it was his house. So he walked in the living room. He walked in the entrance. He walked wherever in the kitchen. They take you to all the rooms, the basement. They don't take you upstairs. It's closed off to the general public. That's for family only. Uh, and then you go outside. Behind the house is his father's office, which was there's a little house behind Graceland, and that was his father's office where he had his desk and his secretaries and everything is still there. And then a little more off towards the back fence is his father's house, which connects with the property.
Right, because I thought that Elvis bought him a home, didn't they?
I don't know if he bought it for him or if his father bought it for himself. I tend to believe that Elvis bought it for him. But the property connects with his property. It's down at the end of down down at the end of Lonely Street. It's down at the end of the back garden, all the way to the end, and it's on Dolan Drive. That's the name of the street that it's on, Dolan Drive. It's a little white house. From what I heard, they haven't kept it up and it's falling apart. So I don't know what's going to happen with that property.
Okay, good, good. Now let's get on to your comics. How kind of how long have you been involved in comics?
I've been making comics. Well, my first one was professionally published in 2002, but I'm an artist. I've been drawing for newspapers. I've drawn for college newspapers. I've drawn for neighborhood newspapers. I've drawn for city newspapers. And then I got into comics, and I've been drawing actually my entire life. But the first published professional comic book was in 2002.
Right. And how many pages? How many pages was
The
that?
first the first appearance of my character, because I made my own character, the first appearance was 4 pages, and then from there it took off to 22 pages, and now I can just do whatever amount of pages that I want, as long as they're even numbered pages, so they can divide 6 pages, 8 pages, whatever. I can't make like 13 pages. I would have to have 14 pages, because when they put it in the book, it's got to be front and back, front and back.
Yeah. Is it difficult to write? Because you know when you're setting out a comic and all of a sudden you're doing the story and everything. You know, I remember getting when I was younger, getting the Beano one. You know, and everything else. Is it something like that? Do you have to make up a story like
Well,
you know?
the way I do it is the same way Jack Kirby did it. Jack Kirby is the king of comics. He practically created the entire Marvel universe all alone. Uh, what he would do is he would draw an entire story, just 22 or 24 pages of just drawings in panels, different panels. Then he would go back and make up an entire story for what he just drew, and he would write the stuff, the dialogue on the borders of the pages. And that's basically what I do too. I'll make up anything because I'm not a writer. I draw whatever I want, and then I'll go back and make up the story after all the drawings are put down.
Right. Okay. Okay. And then what you do? So do you freelance it out then? If a newspaper say, right, I want you to do something like say I don't know about can I say the presidency?
Oh yes, well, what I do with the newspaper has nothing to do with what I do in the comic books, and my publisher doesn't have a problem with it because it doesn't interfere with his comic book lines. And that's my side gig, where I'm a political editorial cartoonist. I'm a regular newspaper cartoonist, um, and then I also do my music too. Whenever something comes up, I can do something. And
Yeah,
he's kind of great.
we're coming on to music in a minute. But when you kind of like do your comics, what is the best one that you ever done?
The best comic I ever done. Well, the best comic is my first issue of my character, the unbelievable laundry detergent man, because it's just a silly name, but the story is pretty straightforward. There were, I think, 2,000, a little bit over 2,000 copies printed, and I only have maybe two left. Everything sold. Everything else, I still have maybe 100 copies of this or 50 copies of that. But issue number one of the Unbelievable Laundry Detergent Man, or as we call them, ULDM, uh, it's almost completely sold out. I have about 4 issues left out of the 2,000 something that was printed.
Gosh, gosh, well done for that. Well done. Um, really want to talk about your music now. Um, Amy says that she hasn't seen you on Facebook for a while, but I know different. You have been on Facebook, haven't you?
Well, you know what? I haven't been doing a lot of lives. There's a lot of groups that I was in, and I really don't want to say anything negative, but a lot of them uh, don't have me on anymore. So what I do is I make my own videos and I do my own lives on my own group. Um, and if you're not a member of my group, then you can't see the lives because you have to join my group.
Okay, let's go down that route. So they don't have you on no more. Is that for a reason?
I don't know. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes, and I'd rather not say. I want to leave it alone the way it is, but it's not a problem. I don't mind because, like I said, I'll do lives either on my fan group
Yeah.
or every now and then I will find a group that will let me do a live or two. And I also have uh, my YouTube account, and I have all my videos on there. So
But surely, if was that about you? What was going on then? Was it?
the what with the groups?
Yeah. Was that when they said about you not good on the groups no more, and
Oh,
you said, "Oh,
I guess that has something to do with it. A lot of administrators in a lot of different groups, uh, there are a lot of they have a lot of good friends, and if you're not one of their good friends, then you're out of the circle. But
mm,
it doesn't matter to me because before I was doing lives, I was doing actual live performances at in clubs and bars and these kind of things, parties.
I think you're fabulous, mate, and I think you should not worry about it because don't
No, I
start
don't.
me, don't start me off about the. You probably know my opinion about it.
Yeah, I
About
don't mind. I don't really care about it. If that's what happens, it happens. I don't care. I move on. It's another day. Every day I wake up, I give thanks to the Lord. I thank God for another day, and who knows? Let's see what happens because this last
yeah.
month was fantastic. Oh, here's someone from Chile. Marisol Espinosa. Hola Marisol, ¿cómo estás? Muchas gracias por mirar. Eh, Voy a cantar un canción o dos. And that's the administrator of my fan group. So, like I said, Steve, I keep going. This was a beautiful month I just had. I went to Graceland. I went to Tupelo, Mississippi. I went to the birth house. I was singing live outside of the gates of Graceland, which to me was more important than singing live inside my living room or in my bedroom or whatever, because a lot of these people that go live, I'm sure they would love to do the same thing, sing live outside of the gates of Graceland and these kind of things. But
Oh
I
yeah.
actually did it.
Oh yeah. I would love. I would love to go to Graceland and just sing outside the gates.
Well, you
Any
can.
song at all.
You can. And I'm not sure if I shared. Did I share? I made a video of it. I think I shared it on your uh, profile page. I think for Crossroads. If I didn't, I'll do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Please do. Yeah. Um. You got some messages. Let's go for the messages. Here we go. Look.
Messages. Okay, this is Cassia Cassia from Brazil. Hola, Cassia Cassia. Boa noite. Muito obrigado por asistir. And this is Marisol again. Hola, Marisol. ¿Cómo estás, amiga? Te mando muchos saludos. Un abrazo fuerte para Chile. Wow, I have to learn all these languages.
Gosh, how do you learn all these languages?
I look up they have a Bing translator online, and they tell you how to pronounce it and stuff, and I write it down in practice. Oh, muito obrigado, Brasil. She just said Brazil is watching, so thank you very much. And this is who? Marisol. Marisol is from Chile, so you have people watching in Chile now, and
Gosh,
it's all my fault.
I don't mind. I don't mind. Could you tell them? Thank you very much for
Okay,
watching.
okay. Dice el señor Steve Beer. Muchas gracias. Agradece mucho que estás mirando el show.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So about your music. So
Yes.
what's the latest about your music and what you're up to?
I just made a video on YouTube. It's called "The King Is Gone." The King Is Gone. I made it, I think, 4 days ago, and it's already gone over 100 views, which I'm pleasantly surprised about because that's more than 25 views a day. De nada, Casia Casia. Rita. I want to say hello to Casia Casia. Hola, Casia. I want to say hello to Marisol. Hola, Marisol, ¿cómo estás? Hola, Oishos de Panda. Here comes this is from Madrid. Hola, saludos, Menchu. This is Maria del Carmen. She's from Madrid. Hola, Menchu, ¿cómo estás? No sé qué hora es allá en Madrid. Buenas noches. Muchas gracias por mirar.
You're
So we
getting
have
everybody
Chile,
around the world, you are, aren't you?
Chile, Spain, and Brazil so far. I don't know who else is watching, and I guess people are listening to your show in the UK too. So I never say it. So hello UK, thank you very much if you're watching or listening. This is Nino Messerina saying hello, better known as Nino Mafia, and you can find me on YouTube, and you can find my fan group on Facebook, and I'll sing some songs.
Yeah. Anyway,
Here,
can you give everybody a song?
yes, I can. Look, I got the strings on this time. Last time I had a problem where the strings had popped
Oh,
off.
brilliant. So you can do a few songs for us.
Can you hear it, Steve?
We are? Yeah, we are okay.
Okay. When you find your sweetheart in the arms of a friend, that's when your heartache begins. When dreams of a lifetime must come to an end. When your heartache begins. Oh, this is a thing you never can share. When you bring a friend into your love affair, that's the end of your sweetheart. That's the end of your friend. When your heart aches, be. How was that,
Well
Steve?
done. Well done.
Thank you very much.
That's
This
okay.
kind of things I do when I sing with my. This is my father's old guitar. I don't know if I mentioned to you a couple of hundred times, but my
Yeah.
father passed away about 2 years ago. I think it's 2 years ago. Yeah, and we passed away. I took his guitar home because this is the guitar I learned how to play, and none of my brother and sisters know how to play any musical instruments. They might fiddle around with it, but I was the only one who actually got some music out of it. So I took it home. It's my guitar now, and I'm taking care of it. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. What I've done is I put a link on here for my Facebook in future where people will be able to watch you more.
okay.
So can you tell everybody the link on here if they like the group? What they've got to do, they've got to go on the group, like
Oh,
it, and
right, right. Go
share
on
it.
the group, right? Okay. I'm going to put it on my fan group, and I'll explain it to them if they like the link. Uh, then they can go ahead and ask me. Was this the one where they can ask me direct personal questions?
Yes.
Or
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. I'll put that on my group page. And I always play with these special picks. I
All
don't know if you
right.
can see it.
Oh yeah.
I have my Elvis picks. I went to the birth house. I stood in the room once again where Elvis Presley was born. I actually like going to the birth house more than I go to Graceland. Uh, you actually see how humble beginnings Elvis began his life in, and they have things there that well, I don't think people use these anymore. They have outhouse there. You know, there wasn't any plumbing in the house, so you would have to use.
Not in a
You
big
have to
house like
relieve
that.
yourself. Yeah, you have to relieve yourself outside of the house. The tour, they'll tell you that every house there had an outhouse of their own in the back because there was no indoor plumbing. Uh, it's in the middle of no place. It's way out there somewhere. It's extremely hot and humid, and I don't know how all those people survived in the summertime because there was no air conditioning. I mean, there was air conditioning, but these was only for big stores and the movie theaters, and people in their actual homes didn't have. They had maybe a fan, or they'd go jump in the creek in the back and kind of cool off. I guess I can't
Yeah.
imagine living in a place like that.
What was Sun Records like to visit?
Sun Records is as small as a garage. Is that what they call it in the UK? A garage where you park your car and stuff?
Yeah, yeah,
Coach house
yeah.
or whatever.
Garage. Yeah.
The garage. Well, it's about that size. It's about that size. It's everybody hears the records. Everybody believes that it's wow, it's Sun Records. And then when they get there, it's a little shoebox. It's so small. It's the size of a garage. And all these songs came out of there, and they're still listened to today. You know, and they oh, and the recording process was very simple also. They just had a microphone. They did what was called a live recording because they didn't have any tape to record and then edit and go back. It was a live recording. It was just the microphone, and they would turn on the recording switch and uh, record the music on an acetate, which was like a plastic record. And another thing, they would record it and then walk down the street because the radio station was down at the other end of the street. They would walk down to the end of the street and then get the friend Dewey Phillips to play the record that was just recorded 30 minutes earlier. So those kind of things will never happen again. I can't imagine some artist today making a song on a CD and then they'll walk to the radio station and they'll play it. It doesn't happen
The
anymore.
trouble is, you don't hear a lot of rock and roll now, do you?
No, well, it's evolved more. It's no longer rock and roll. It went to pop, and pop went into rap, and rap went into I don't know what, and they heavy metal or whatever. But they have all different kinds of genres, different kinds of music that has evolved. But if you take Elvis Presley out of the equation, it's kind of like the Back to the Future movie. If you get rid of one thing, then everything will be changed. So if there was no Elvis Presley, we'd probably all still be listening to music like Pat Boone, uh, or I don't know who.
Yeah, you've got another message here.
Oh, de nada, Marisol. She's saying thank you very much for inviting me to the live broadcast. Okay. Muchas gracias por mirar, Marisol. Marisol is from Chile, so hola, Chile.
So, tell you what. So how do you say hello in Chile?
Hola.
Hola.
And then you just say the name of the country, hola, Chile.
Okay. Hola, Chile.
That's right.
Hola, Chile. And how do you do it in another language?
In Portuguese, it's the same way. Hola. Hola, Brazil.
Hola. Is it like a bow? Hola.
Right, there you go. Oh, the bull is ole. I think that would be for Spain,
okay,
right?
hola. Yeah.
Well, you can say ole Spain too, right?
Yeah.
Here it goes. She's saying, thank you very much for everything. De nada, Cassia Cassia. Muito obrigado por assistir. Como você está? Tudo bem? Tá bom? Estou tentando falar mais português para falar com você.
Gosh, you know a lot of languages, don't you?
Well, I'm trying. What's she saying? Good night to you, Steve. She just called you Senor. Okay, Senor Steve Beer. Boa noite.
Good night. Hola. Hola. Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk to you about something different now.
Okay.
There's something always what I like about. Why do they call you Mafia?
Oh, well, when I started doing the whole live thing, everybody was having their thing like they would include Elvis's name in their thing, like maybe Tony Elvis, whatever, and Mad Max Patel Elvis, whatever. I don't know the names, but they would include Elvis in it. So I started out. I wanted to include something with Elvis and the Memphis Mafia, so I started out as Nino Elvis Mafia. But then I said that doesn't roll off your tongue, and I don't really want to use Elvis' name, so I just knocked off the Elvis and I stood with Nino Mafia. And the Mafia part is more to more or less like saying the Memphis Mafia. Everybody knows the Memphis Mafia if you're an Elvis fan. So I like the way it sounded, so I just left it as Nino Mafia. And now that's my nom de plume. That's my stage name.
Nickname. Okay. Because they probably think that you belong to the mafia or something.
Oh, that's true. You know what? there's an Italian woman. She watches my videos and things, and she told me she wants to post more things on my group, but she's scared that someone will see it because of what you said. It has the name Mafia in there, and she said you're very brave because if you come to perform in Italy, you'll probably have troubles. You'll probably be killed.
Yeah, I've got to tell you a story. I had this
Okay.
gangster. I was interviewing this gangster
Oh yeah.
a few weeks ago,
Okay.
and I got into a conversation with him, and he didn't like it what I said to him.
Oh
Okay,
no, really?
and a message came up and said, "Steve, you're going to get an egg through your letterbox."
Whoa, that's a
Yeah, yeah,
threat.
yeah. But so because I thought, oh no, because all I said to this person was, "Why did you kill that person?"
Oh,
You know.
okay, okay.
And anyway, but I didn't get any threats. But the
Well,
trouble is, though, it's like on Facebook when you kind of like yourself when you call mafia, I'm
yes.
thinking, what
I
the heck?
haven't
What are the,
I haven't gotten any kind of threats or anything. It's just that one Italian woman who warned me never to go to Italy. Uh, but I was thinking maybe sooner or later I'll probably just knock it off and just use my regular name. I don't know.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
or just Nino M. You know, who knows? I don't know.
yeah.
But I'm not in the mafia. I'm not a mafia member. Well,
Are
there's
you
actually
sure? You sure you're not a big gangster and everything? Then you
that's
know.
what that's my secret. I can't say anything more.
Right. Okay.
There
Okay.
is someone in Brazil who has his own fan club, and I forgot his name, but they are the mafia also. And they've got T-shirts and CDs, and it says mafia all over it. So I don't know if that person knows that they can't travel to Italy. I
Yeah.
don't
We've
know.
got another message here.
What does it say? Oh, okay. This is Cassia again from Brazil. Oh yeah, she said it's a very nice group page, the Nino Mafia. If you're watching or if you're listening, you can always join the Nino Mafia. Just look for it on Facebook. I think that the link has been provided in the comments, or just look up Nino Mafia and I'll come up, and you can request to join. And I'm the me and my son we're the administrators, so of course we'll let you join.
Yeah. Be very careful because they belong to the mafia.
That's right, the Nino Mafia. Okay, well, I'll take care of you all.
Yeah.
And ironically, I live in Chicago, so so
All
I've,
right.
I've
That's a bit dangerous living in Chicago. You got to watch him.
got to
He
watch
belongs to the mafia.
the gangster ties in Chicago.
Oh yeah, yeah. But listen, we can have a joke and everything. But
Yeah.
what have you got coming up? You got anything new coming up, or what you doing?
Right now, I'm only doing these. The guest artist I was signing with Frank Fosco. That's his name, Frank Fosco. He is the artist for. He was the artist for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he drew everything from Batman, Superman, Fantastic Four. He worked for Marvel and DC Comics. And what's this? Oh yeah, she's one of the members of the Mafia. Well, uh, I spoke with Frank because we're old friends, and he invited me to do some tours with him. He goes on the road to different comic book events, and I said sure. So I've got to get back to him, and maybe the next time I'm on here, I'll tell you more about all those shows. That's all I have planned right now. I'm waiting for more news on the movie project Zoomed by Jake Estrada, my publisher for Space Coast Comics. He's getting his producers, and he just got an executive producer. So the movie is
Mm,
being funded, and I think he said he got a movie theater now or not. I'm not sure. I don't keep up too much with that end, the movie end
mm.
of the whole business thing.
Yeah, I'm trying. If you ever speak to Jake, can you ask him to contact me? Because I've
Sure,
been after an
sure. In
interview
fact,
with him.
I think Jake might be watching because he said he was going to try to watch. But Jake, you see, I told Jake. I think I mentioned it to Jake before, but uh, I think it would be very nice if you had Jake on your show as a guest because he's an actor, he's a writer, he's an artist, he's a publisher, he's
Yeah,
a man of he wears many hats, and we go back many years. And he would tell me, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." So he's
If
a
you
man of his
speak to
word.
if you speak to him for me, I'd be grateful.
Sure, I'll let him know. He will be
And
pleased to
Frank
be on your show.
and Frank too.
Sure, I'll let Frank know too, because Frank is an actual popular name
Yeah,
in the world of comics, because he's worked for all these big companies, Marvel and DC and IDW, and he's got fans on the road and fantastic artwork. You know, I was in charge one time of. I was in charge of one time taking his artwork to Texas, where I was doing an event, and I sold some of his original artwork down there. So sure, I'll talk to Frank. I'll talk to Jake, and hopefully they'll be
mm,
on your show also as guests. Because Nino Mafia's got connections. Because I'm in the
yes,
mafia.
I know. Thank you.
Not
Okay,
a problem.
guys, this is Nino. Thank you very much for joining me. Sorry it's a bit short. I'm off to bed now, guys, because in England at the moment it is around about 23:35, 11:35, and I'm off to bed. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, and thank you to Nino, and thank you to everybody who joined us.
Thank you.
Ole Brazil, Ole
Olá, muito
Chile.
obrigado por assistir. Boa noite aos shows de Panda, Brasil, Espanha, Madrid, Chicago, UK. Good night.
Yeah. Ole Chicago, Ole.
Ole.
Right, okay. Nino, thank you very much for joining us, and God
Thank you
bless
for
you.
having
Bye
me.
bye. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Good night.